Get your business insured in less than 10 minutes with Next Insurance.
Cool.
Just go to nextinsurance.com.
There's a cover up here. It's likely more than 4 people that need to be held accountable here. So we need to, let me just conclude here. We need to celebrate, or at least salute the governor for doing what is right at this point, continue to hold his feet to the fire, and recognize that this is not enough. That those people who were involved, whether they actually put a foot on someone's neck. By the way, there was another officer that was holding him down. Because of the angle of the video, you don't get to see that officer very clearly. There are at least 3 other videos that we need to look at, you should know. All of the officers involved, the Asian cop that was there, all of them need to be fired, tried, and we need to hold the entire justice system in Minneapolis to account so that those men are convicted and jailed. That's what needs to happen in this instance. And then we have to recognize that even if we're able to do that, we understand that this is a national, in fact, international problem with Black people. We have to plan and work the plan, as Reggie said earlier.
Okay. This Captain reminded me when I was talking to him, when he finished talking. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a bill with Minister Louis Farrakhan one day. And they were sitting down in the living room. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad looked at Minister Farrakhan and said, "Have you ever seen a people in which there is no good at all?" And Farrakhan said, no, sir, dear apostle. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, "Well, there go one right there." And there was a white man walking by, and he said, "There go one right there." So have you ever seen a people in whom which there is no good at all? Now, some of you might say, how do you know that, Sarnetta? How do you know? Because Dr. Khalid always told us stories. He would sit us down and he would be up there preaching and teaching to us when we was in the room. And he would come by and start telling you stories. And, he would tell us the stories that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would tell to the people. I'm quite sure probably Roy Bay probably heard that one before. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, my brother, back to you, my brother, Dr. Reggie. Same question, but here's a question on top of that. So I'm going to give you a little more time. You've been talking about the Black City Plan for how long, sir? Unmute yourself.
At least 6 years.
Okay. When are you going to stand up, Reggie? Stop talking about it and be the lead on it, because it's your Black City Plan. Ain't nobody going to come out and do it for you. Why you are not running for the mayor? Why you're not running for these goddamn seats? Because you got to start somewhere. You smart enough to know you dealing with that. So it ain't going to just fall in your lap. If you come, you got all of these people, all of us out here. I'm quite sure Jabari, all of us promote you. Run for the seat, run for a Senate, run for something. When are you going to step up and do what you're supposed to do, Reggie?
All right, I'm going to answer your first question. One thing about this panel is very, very important about this panel that you put together. There's certainly a lot of sentiments, and there's certainly a lot of knowledge. But then there are people you could tell that are actually trained by mentors. Like, for example, Brother Jabari. Brother Jabari is trained by Dr. James Turner and Dr. John Henry Clark, and you can hear the training, right? And there are other people who have been trained by other people, but I know that training. Let me tell you what Jabari said, right? That is so important. What this mayor did is a precedent. If you understand and not talk about and act like you know city politics and law, when those police officers are fired, it means to our family that there is no police union and police lawyer intermediary. So it is a straight firing. There will be no police trial for these officers. This sets them up to be tried as civilians. So the police union and the police lawyers can't protect them. This is unprecedented. This is summary judgment. If you understand law, like some of you claim that you understand law, right? This also is important because there's something called city human rights laws. The city human rights laws are very important for us because, you know, the federal law is the floor in which no law can fall beyond, meaning that as long as it hits the floor and it meets that criteria, it will be accepted in federal law. But usually federal law is not enough. City law is the ceiling in which all rights can rise. In this case, you see this mayor, and I don't care about crocodile tears, and I don't care about how he feels and how you think he feels and all of that. That's not relevant. What is relevant is that he is operating a plan and he has interest. Do you understand? If you have a plan and an interest that he is operating out of, then it goes in a formation. It doesn't matter if you cry, you don't cry, right? What we look for is emotion, right? And what we have is our own petty thinking about who a person is instead of looking at the man's interest and his plan. And if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. About my Black City plan, first of all, you know, it took me a number of years to sit down and to collect my thoughts and to put a 223-page document into writing, which one of the panelists said he read and he balled it up, but his expertise on this show basically shows his non-expertise, and he didn't read my plan because it talks about Freddie Gray, and it talks about the situation of saving cities from riots, but that's not really relevant. So I wrote the plan, and sometimes the person who writes the plan is not necessarily the person to execute the plan. Everybody knows I'm not the most passionate and eloquent speaker. I'm not that. And people vote based on likability. I'm not necessarily likable. I'm knowledgeable. So I'm more like a lawyer, right? That writes, but not a trial lawyer. Trial lawyer is kind of like an actor. But the other thing is you should know that I am an interim chief of staff for a congressional election. My friend Patrick DeLise is in the Bronx. And I've worked on many other elections, all the way down to see Virginia Fields and a number of elections. So look for my writing and look for my thinking and looking for look, Sarnetta and the family, for my expertise on panels like this, right? And hopefully other people will educate themselves. So thank you for the credit. But, you know, for example, like Umar Johnson, he's in a whole bunch of trouble over a school, but he should have ran for mayor. He's much more eloquent. He could have won a seat. Hopefully, Ali Muhammad might win a mayorship. There are a number of people on here, and there's a few that's not, but there are a number of few people who could actually run for seats. But before you need to run for a seat, you need a plan. The problem is, Sarnetta, most people don't have a plan. So thank you so much for the compliment, and thank you, audience, for bearing with my voice, bearing with the way I articulate. But it's how a person communicates on matters like this that matters the most. And I did write a written document. It's called the Black City Plan, and I put the link in it. So,
all right.
Thank you.
Sarnetta, could I just give one point of information?
Yes, go ahead.
Some of the folks in the chat room, and I understand they're angry because I'm angry too, are saying that they should be calling for the death penalty for the officers. I just want you to understand that Minnesota hasn't had the death penalty since 1911. So we have to do research. I get that you're angry. I get that you're frustrated. Figure out the system that you're working in. That's like you playing chess and you trying to use checkers rules. So we need to actually exploit the system that exists. And if the system doesn't work, then destroy it and create a new one that works for us. But I truly believe that we need to do research so we understand what we're arguing for.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to give everybody an opportunity to close out. Captain, you there? You good? I want to give everybody an opportunity to close out. Roy Bey, let's close out, my good brother. Let's close out.
Yeah. So anyway, at some
Drop the
point,
bomb when you leave it. Matter of fact, when y'all close out, give us a solution, man. Give us a solution with the closeout.
at some point in our people's living existence in these states, we have to physically, not so much economically and politically, that's the norm with us, but we have to physically go into confrontation with these individuals. We don't want that, but it is overly deemed necessary at some point to engage a society like that. It's not the first time in human history where the few have took on the many and against all odds came out victorious. We have to stop trying to justify and conceal our fears with scholarship and politics and economics. Let's just do or die, as they say in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy. Get it on and get it over with. One time for all, very simple. Now, if that ain't gonna be the method, we cannot utilize the boycott method, but so far. The Jews don't boycott because they own things. We gotta start owning things and there'll be no need for a boycott. You follow me? Mm-hmm. And if we got a plan to advance the cause in a city, talk is cheap. If you wrote the plan, well, I'll work with you, Brother Reggie. Let's get together and implement it. Even the parts I don't agree with. I'm just looking for a strategy and a solution just like everyone else. So it has to be all hands on deck. Scholars and all that good stuff, that's fine. But when people are getting shot, blood is being spilt, this ain't no time for the Black Book movement. We got
Go ahead. Say that again, Roy. Say that again, bro.
Ain't no time for the Black Book movement. We got to set that aside. I read books too. I read, all types of stuff. I speak, I talk. But guess what? I've been a revolutionary as far back as I can remember with my fez on my head. Everything I do, as Brother Khalid once said, everything you do, let it be revolutionary. If you're going to be a sanitation man, be a revolutionary garbage man. If you're going to be a Moor, be a revolutionary Moor. Be a revolutionary Pan-Africanist. Whatever you're going to be, put that spirit first and foremost, and we might have, our children may have hope for a better future. So our women can respect us, our children, and we can respect them. But we have to stand up at some point and sometime and stop hiding behind the bushes. Come on out. No more we shall overcome. We shall overrun. Let's start swinging in these goddamn streets. Now, y'all can head on and talk that scholarship stuff.
Unmute your mic, Senator. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
When you close out, you can see yourself out the door, Roy Bey. I don't want to kick you out. I want you to let yourself out, brother.
All right, family, peace and love. Don't let the commentary get you confused. I'm still on deck with my people and my community.
I'm glad you downloaded it. Now we can bring you in on a regular basis. Good to see you, my brother.
Yeah.
Peace to you, man.
Peace, God.
All right, let's go to my brother, Lord Abba, in the building. Close out. Give us a solution, brother.
All right, let me start, right? There's some things I want to address before we close out. First and foremost, as I said earlier, and I posted a link in the chat, we on our channel, Be the Power, for those of you who want to hear political commentary and breakdowns, come to our channel, my YouTube channel, Be the Power. We have a show where we speak about why local politics is important. If Reggie's plan was doable, I would be the first to support it. For someone to catch feelings about someone saying that this is not a doable plan, it shows that this person that wrote the plan is not serious about it in the first place. I didn't even come here to go at a Sister Nandy or go at Reggie. I came here to really have a spirited discussion so we could try to get to some solutions. But I mean, some people are just, I mean, I'm not going to use an insulting term, right? So city law is subordinate to state law. State law is subordinate to federal law. When slaves were free in the states in the North, it was the states freed the slaves, the enslaved people in the North. It was the federal government that had to come through with Abraham Lincoln in 1865 to make it a federal rule so that it would spread all over the United States of America. Because while our people were free in the North, they were still enslaved in the South. I mean, if you don't have a basic grasp of how government works, if you've never read the Federalist Papers, if you don't understand federalism, if you don't understand government on down to municipalities, et cetera, you're never gonna get past anything but just talking about a plan that you wrote 6 years ago. That's a direct shot at Reggie. Like, I'm not gonna try to mask who I'm talking about. That's directed at Reggie. And whoever promotes that plan, if you haven't read the plan and you're still pushing it, and you claim that you're scholastic, speaking about the scholars, you can't be scholastic at all because the plan is not doable. Now, when it comes to mentors, and I'm gonna fold this into my solution, I've been following the ADOS movement over the past couple of years. We've had several bills on this show about reparations. We've had politicians come on this show, and the question Sonetta was asked due to what people was putting in the chat was reparations. The reparations discussion is a national discussion in politics right now because this comes with a plan attached to it. And so when you have a real plan, it gets discussed not only at the local level, it also gets discussed at the federal level because that's what a real plan is. So solutions is to start becoming more politically active, first and foremost. We can't do nothing you got Jeff Sessions who comes in under Trump and says, we're not going to police the police. You have Trump saying, oh, stop being nice to these people when you put them in cop cars. You see when they put their head in, oh, just get them in there. So Trump basically green-lighted them to be rough with us. If we are not involved with politics, then we're not going to find a solution from the top down. I support 100%. If one, like Khalid said, if one of these crackers is trying to shoot you, take his gun from him and shoot him back down, I support that 1,000%. I'm all for the smoke, point blank, period. I'm ready to come to New York, just in New York City, and start a movement to challenge the gun laws there because the city's laws can't override the Second Amendment of the Constitution. A solution would be me getting with brothers like Jabari and those who hear what I'm saying right now and say, well, how can we make that happen? Because we need protection on the streets. And when the cops know that we are also legally armed, they're not going to just run up on us. And these are solutions, real things that can be talked about, things that can go into a court and be challenged. So for those of you that's hearing me right now, send me an email, lordabba@gmail.com. Hit me up on Facebook, just punch in Lord Abba. Both of my Facebook pages should come up. Like, these are solutions. And let's get this thing done. I'm tired of talking, man. Real talk. I'm tired of talking. Peace.
Thank you, brother. Y'all can see yourself out. Roy Bay, you still there, man. And I like the new name you got too, Roy Bay. I love that. I love that name you got there, brother. Did you hear me, Roy Bay? Roy Bay, you heard me?
Yes, I heard you, but
what did I say? What I said?
You said that you like the new name I got, but that's not my new name. You see, you're a wise guy.
You see, that just changed it on you. Anyway, let's go to my captain because he got to get out of here. He going on a nice trip tomorrow. Is it tomorrow, Cap?
I'll go Friday morning at 9:30 is my flight.
Okay, he's going to be out of here. Hey, who just did that?
Just do what?
Put that picture up there.
That's me. It's Garfield.
Oh, Garfield, we got to see Captain. He's getting ready to leave.
Yeah, man, take that shit down, man.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna let Captain close out. Make
I
sure
appreciate it.
you let them know your new scent that you got. Let me see. Do I got mine up here?
Yeah, I gave one to you. I gave one to the sister that was with Polite.
Yeah. I got the rose joint. That rose is slamming. So go ahead, my brother, close out. Let them know where they can get the new.
Okay, no sweat. Let me put the link
new
in the
Gab
chat.
butter that you just created. Let them know all that shit. Go ahead,
funny
brother.
as
It's
hell.
on you.
Well, okay, no sweat. From a business perspective, my business, Tazariak Religious Creations, we have a couple of new scents on there. One West, we got Intense, we got Forbidden, I got the Rose that I gave to Sinetta. As far as the solutions go, for ISUBK, like the revolutionary stuff is cool, but revolutionary without discipline, even that political mumbo jumbo they talking about, without discipline, none of that is going to work. You got to have discipline, you got to have order, you got to have rank. That's what you find in ISUBK. We have been building a plan. We have been living that plan since '69. And up until this day, if anybody want to check, I sent the video to Sinetta. We have brothers out there in Minnesota because we have a school in Minnesota. So we have brothers out there in Minnesota that can talk directly to the people and give them the plan. The plan is not about the politics, because politics don't stop white people from killing you. Like I said in the beginning, we talking about getting in the political party to stop them from killing us. The Arabs don't worry about getting the political party. They're looked at as terrorists and nobody's killing them. The Chinese people are the ones that they blame for coronavirus, and the Chinaman got so much power, they blaming us black people for the damn coronavirus too, even though that came from China. So you don't see them thinking about no political plan, but what you do see them doing is being united and close-knit. One thing I'll give Roy Bay credit for when he brought up them Jewish communities. Them Jewish communities, they don't worry about the political plan. They stick with each other. That's what I think everybody is missing the mark. Everybody think their mark is fitting into some damn government. This government was never built for us. There's a good book, I wish I had it. It's called The Black Image in the Minds of Whites. It was written, it was finished in 1917. And in that book, it'll tell you America was built on a business that the black man was never meant to fit in. So you'll get some trinkets and some gifts, but you'll never sit at the dinner table. And that's what I hear a lot of with these plans and voting and doing all this. It sounds like y'all want to sit at the dinner table, like your table ain't good enough. Like we should be joined to each other. I guarantee you, like in my time in the school, I ain't been in my school that long, only about maybe 10, 11 years. And that school has grown exponentially. And we're able to govern ourselves, we're able to move ourselves. I only wish that everybody would listen. If you listen to that organization, that structure, that discipline, you'll see just how powerful it is to be unified. Even if you take away the biblical perspective, which is our guideline, the most important thing of that perspective is the brotherhood, because the brotherhood is what's required to really uplift this nation. So that's the blueprint, and you see it evident. Like I said, when me and Polite and Sinetta was sitting in the room, the men in the room with me, I don't know them from a can of paint without the truth. Without the truth, without that discipline, without that brotherhood, I would walk past them every day. But because of that, I don't. And nobody harms them. Nobody shoots them, because we're all under that umbrella. We're all protected. So anybody want to know our plan? You come and join us. Zephaniah 2:1 and my clothing says, gather yourselves together, O nation, not desire. That's the plan.
So are you saying you don't support the voting?
I don't support voting at all. What?
But Captain, where do you live at though?
Hold on,
You're in America, right?
Hold on, Senator. Let me ask Captain a question. So,
Go ahead,
Captain,
bro.
so you're saying that the shooting, your solution is to come under the ISUPK plan, right? So if that gentleman was on the ISUPK plan, you're saying that he wouldn't have gotten killed by the cops? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
How?
Hey, Captain, come on, man. You sound like the
What I mean
Moors,
by
man.
that- No.
Yo, stop this shit, Captain, man. Come on, man.
Weed legal?
Let me answer. Let me-
Hold on, Senator.
Everybody laughing at that shit.
I think my Jamaican accent was in the way. I don't think the captain heard
No,
me.
just let.
Yes, he heard you,
No,
bro.
I did.
Yes, he did.
But see, now it's easy for y'all to laugh because y'all lack the discipline that I'm talking about.
Oh,
That's
come
why
on.
you laugh. That's why you chuckle. No, what I mean by that is I ain't talking about laughing at me saying yes, but laughing at what it means to be in a disciplined organization to where we would never even be in that position. What we have to realize is that that brother was just some random cat. I don't want to say nothing against the brother, but if you're in this school, we don't have them issues. There's a certain way that you carry yourself. There's a certain vibe that comes up that you just won't see. Like I said, I've been accosted. I've had the cops roll up on me. I done had cops roll up on me in Times Square, in Harlem. I done had Homeland Security come to this house that I'm in. Nothing's ever happened to me, and nothing ever will happen to me. And it's hard for y'all to understand it because y'all are not in here. So y'all can't understand the word. I'll give another example. The FBI sent a brother in our school to infiltrate. That brother never was allowed. That brother never infiltrated. We did a story where we interviewed him and he told his story. So now they sent the brother to infiltrate, and then he's able to tell a story how he would not do it.
I saw that clip.
Thank you. Because there's a sense of brotherhood that exists here that I've never seen nowhere else. I'm not, to be respectful to everybody else, I don't know what type of brotherhood y'all have out there, but in the ISUPK, brotherhood encompasses the sisters as well. It's relative, almost like we say mankind with mankind. So brotherhood encompasses the sisters as well. So the brotherhood that exists in here will defeat anything that's formed outside of this body.
Hey,
Captain, and again,
Captain, I don't know, Captain. You wilding on this one.
Let me tell you something. The Arabs got their brotherhood. They ain't profiled. They ain't shot. They ain't hung. And they so-called dropped the towers. They're supposed to be the #1 enemy to white people, and they don't get hung. They don't get lynched.
I mean,
we don't see. When's the last?
Hold on. 1 second. Captain, you said something very important. You said that the brother was coming to infiltrate your organization, but he saw the brotherhood, so he wasn't doing it. I remember Malcolm X told a story like that also about the Nation of Islam. But let me ask you this. If you believe that there's no FBI agent in ISUPK, you are sadly
That's right.
mistaken.
We're all
you are
infiltrated,
sadly
brother.
mistaken.
We're
And you know
all
why?
infiltrated.
Ever since, hold on, let me finish the point.
Okay.
When that guy, Micah Johnson in Dallas, Texas, shot up them 6 or 7 cops, your world changed. My world changed. Jabari world changed. Sarnetta's world changed. They started following and watching every single quote unquote black movement. Okay,
Hey,
that's why your group is on that list with SCLC. Not because you're a great group and great brother.
Right,
because you
brother.
are black.
I'm gonna tell you.
You think that the FBI, COINTELPRO, bro, is alive. It's just not under that name anymore.
Right.
So their job is to stop the rise of any black man that's gonna wake their people up. So if you believe General Yohana is doing that, so you don't think FBI is gonna go there?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. We're heavy about that FBI brother, that brother that was sent in by the FBI, right? There was an interview, another interview, Commander General Yohana, maybe like, could be a year, could be 6 months before that brother came forth. And Commander General Yohana said to Sarnetta in that interview, let the FBI send anybody, let them send anybody to infiltrate. I guarantee you, I turn them to us.
That's right.
That's what he said.
That's what he said
beforehand. And what happened? They send somebody in and we turn them beforehand. So now I am going to disrespect your brotherhood. Y'all don't have it. So y'all can never think that someone could be infiltrated. I would never say that they ain't sending nobody to come in there, but I guarantee you it won't work. The proof is I
disagree with you on this one, Captain.
I understand. Listen, it's very easy. I understand your disagreement. I don't want nobody to think that I don't understand your disagreement because we've seen it happen from time to time and time and time. But I can guarantee you, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, it will never happen. Just like Commander Jenny Hanna said, we'll turn them, and we did. Anyone they send in, we'll turn them.
The only way I can see it never happening, and I'm gonna let you go, Jabari. The only way I can see it, the only way I can never see it happening, Captain.
Peace, Cesario. Thanks.
The only way I can never see it happening, Captain, is that whatever that white man tell you to do, you're gonna do it. And if you try to say, no, I can't do this, or I'm not doing that, or if he tell your ass to get on the ground to Zoriak, and you say, well, you know what, I'm not doing that, they will grab your ass and throw you on the ground, brother. I don't know where you from or who you think you are, because you say you're a member of ISUPK, you sadly mistaken, brother. These police don't give a damn if you claim, brother, if they would do that to Muslims, right? If they would do that, they would even go as far as doing it to some of the Jews who are way more powerful than you, Captain. Now, come on, brother. Stop playing these games.
As I said,
Go ahead, Jabari.
If I could say something, if I could say something, I don't want to focus too much on what Tazariak is saying, because I think that what we are here to do is to talk about plans for Black people. And I think that
all right, you can go ahead, Captain. You can break out.
Lightning rod. I was thankful I was the lightning rod to make my closing garner so much energy. Thank you, Jabari.
I think.
Peace, brother.
I think it's important for us to
say. And let me just say peace to everybody, Jabari. Stop talking for a second.
Peace, brother.
That's a joke.
You've said peace several times.
No, that's a joke. That's a joke. I see all y'all ladies. Y'all be easy, man. Shalom.
I think we need to be honest to our people and clear with our people and say that if we say that the only solution to the things that ail Black people is joining our movement, you should look at anyone that says that with suspicion, because the reality is that there are millions of Black people in the United States. We need to try to come up with a plan that will work for Black people regardless of what movement they are part of. That's the reality. The only solution is to join ISUPK, which he calls a brotherhood, and then says that includes sisters. And because you see one person that claims that they were an FBI agent, why does that mean that there aren't others?
That whole story sounds fishy.
None of what he's saying.
The whole overall story
I
sounds
just hope
fishy.
you understand. Listen, I understand that he feels really strongly about his institution, and I respect that. I mean, that's his institution, fine. But to say the only solution is to be a member of ISUPK, the last I looked at, Brother Tazariak still works for other people. I mean, everything he's saying falls apart with tugging just a string. The whole garment falls into shreds. He gets paid by a white supremacist system. He has his own business, but doesn't work for himself. What is he saying?
Hey,
what we have to do is stop trying to get glib responses to a complicated, difficult problem that is killing Black people.
Yeah.
There is no one solution. That's why when Reggie says a plan, when Garfield says a plan, we're talking about something that's more comprehensive than that. There is no one solution. If you think that the solution is Black people getting guns and fighting the police, you are sorely mistaken that that's the one thing that will change this. Now, I am not saying that Black people should not defend themselves. I truly believe that they should. And they're members of my organization. I'm not going any further there. But I want you to understand that we need to protect ourselves. We need to vote. Folks, if you are paying taxes, and you are, even if you just buy something, you pay sales tax. That's a tax. Someone decides how your money is spent. Someone decides how your money is spent. Are you saying that your children do not go to public school? Who decides what the structure of the public school will be? Who will be in control of the public school system? If you are not voting, you are truly making yourself 3/5 of a human and allowing the Tomhu to be 7/5 because they have more influence than their vote. Now, am I saying that voting is the solution? No. We have to have a comprehensive solution. We must boycott. We must vote. We must have patrols. We must make sure that when someone like our dear brother George Floyd is killed and Ahmaud Arbery is killed, that we don't let it fall off of the radar. We have to have a comprehensive plan. And the plan also must be to make sure that we hold people who we elect accountable. That's the reason why Jacob Frey is responding the way that he is.
Okay, real quick, Jabari.
Real
quick. Hold on, Garfield. I'm feeling a little disappointed right now. Garfield, man. Garfield, Jabari, Reggie, Sister Nepal. How can we gather some type of donation where we can move this 6,641 to at least 7,000 today, man, or tomorrow? Because when you look at it, I haven't received 50 cents, 25 cents. 75 cents. 5 cents.